Hi, in this video, we are discussing the fifth numerical from the exercise for the chapter Mathematical Methods, which is the second chapter for 11th standard physics. So let's get started. Now, in the question, हमें दिए गए हैं तीन सब क्वेश्चंस और तीनों सब क्वेश्चंस में हमें जो है एक्सेस फंक्शन दिया गया है x का, such as for the first sub question, function of x is given to us as x sin x. In the second question, sub question हमें जो है एक x का फंक्शन दिया गया है as x raised to 4 plus cos x. And in the third sub question, we have our function of x as x divided by sin x. And we have to calculate the derivatives of each of these functions of x's. So basically, first sub question, second sub question, and third sub question में हमें derivatives ढूंढना है of the given equations. Well, seems easy enough. Let's get started. सबसे पहले we'll solve the first sub question where the function of x is given to us as x into sin x. So before we proceed, let us assume that we have another function and we are calling it f1 of x, and let this function 1 be f1 be x, and then we have a second function f2 of x, which we are denoting it as sin of x. Now, having this information with us now, if I were to observe my original function, that is f of x is equal to x sin x, can I say that this original f of x is just a multiplication of these two functions which we have just assumed, where f1 of x is x and f2 of x is sin x. So x sin x becomes multiplication of function f1 of x into f2 of x. Now, why did we do this? Well, we did this because while studying differentiation, we studied a property where हमको अगर किसी एक ऐसे टर्म का डिफरेंशिएशन ढूंढना होता था विच इज अ मल्टीप्लिकेशन ऑफ टू डिफरेंट फंक्शंस ऑफ एक्सेस, well in that cases उसका differentiation would come out to be where we would keep the first function as it is and multiply it by the derivative of the second function, plus we would multiply the derivative of first function with the second function as it is. So this was the formula for calculating the differentiation of a term when it was the multiplication of two functions of x's. So इस केस में कुछ ऐसा ही है. अगर मुझे d of f of x ढूंढना है, so it is equivalent of saying I am calculating differentiation of two functions which are multiplied by each other. So if I have to calculate d by dx of x dot sin x, I can say it is first function, that is x, into differentiation of second function, that is x sin x. This is my first function, this is my second function, plus differentiation of the first function, that is x, multiplied by the second function which is sin x itself. अगर हम इसे आगे सॉल्व करें, so x as it is रहेगा, d by dx of sin x comes out to be cos x, which is known to us, plus d by dx of x is 1 and sin x as it is रहेगा. So हमें जो resultant equation मिलेगा, that is the derivative of our first term, that is x sin x का derivative comes out to be x cos x plus sin x. So this is the final value which we were required to calculate, that is the differentiation of our function x into sin x, which comes out to be x cos x plus sin x. Now let's try to solve the other two sub questions. Now in the second sub question, हमारा जो function of x है, now instead of a multiplication it looks like there's a addition sign in between. So it is given to us as x raised to 4 plus cos x. So similarly जैसे first में किया था, हम assume करेंगे let there be a function f1x which is equal to x raised to 4, and let there be another function f2 of x which is given to us as cos x. So with this information, if we were to look back at our original function, which was f of x is equal to x raised to 4 plus cos x, can I say that my original function is just addition of our two assumed function, where f1 of x is x raised to 4 and f2 of x is cos x? Well, we can say that, and we did this because हमने जो है while we were studying differentiation एक और property study की थी, where if we were to calculate the derivative of a term such that it was addition of two functions, तो उस केस में हमें जो है डेरिवेटिव ढूंढना था where the function itself was addition of two independent or individual function. तो उस केस में हमारा formula was we could just calculate the derivation of individual functions, so d by dx of f1 of x, and we could just add it to the individual derivative of the second function. So basically we can just calculate derivative of f1x and then derivative of f2x, and then add those two derivations. So based on this, if I were to calculate the d by dx of x raised to 4 plus cos x, it's simply equal to d by dx of x raised to 4 plus d by dx of cos x. Now d by dx of x raised to 4 calculate करना easy है using the power rule, so it comes out to be 4x cube, and dy dx of cos x is minus of sin x. And अगर हमें equate करेंगे, so if we were to calculate the derivative of this combined term, it is equal to 4x cube minus sin x. Simple enough. Well, that's it. This was the second sub part of this question, and let's move on to the final sub part of this question, where we have to calculate the derivative of function, which is x divided by sin x. So similar to our previous assumption, हम क्या करेंगे, एक function denote करेंगे f1 of x as x and second function f2 of x as sin x. So now that if we want to say our original function, which is f of x is equal to x divided by sin x, is just division of two functions, f1 of x and f2 of x, where f1 of x is x and f2 of x is sin x. Again, the reason for doing this, because we had studied the property while we were studying differentiation, where if we were to calculate the derivative of a term which was a division of two individual functions, that is f1 and f2, so उस केस में उस फंक्शन का combined function का derivative was equal to derivative of the first function divided by the second function minus derivative of second function multiplied by function 1 and divided by the square of the second function. So कुछ ऐसे फॉर्मूला से जो है हम इस पर्टिकुलर फंक्शन का हम डेरिवेटिव ढूंढ सकते हैं. So if we were to substitute the values of f1 and f2x, we would get derivative of x by sin x is equal to 1 upon sin x, which is the function 2, into derivative of the first function, which is x, minus we have first function divided by the second function ka square into the derivative of the second function, which is sin x. And now if we were to solve this particular equation, we would get 1 upon sin x into d by derivative of x is 1. So 1 upon sin x into 1 minus, and x by sin square x is a constant term, and agar d by dx of sin x निकालेंगे तो it comes out to be cos x. So we would get minus x upon sin square x into cos x, which gives us the final equation where we calculate the derivative of the combined function x upon sin x ka, which comes out to be 1 upon sin x minus x dot cos x upon sin square x. So this was the final answer for the third sub question of the numerical number 5. If you want the PDF of this solution, it's available in the description. With this, I hope it helped you. Thank you.